Hey, 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 happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So tonight is Monday, April 4th, 2022. This is live stream 772. Yes. So tonight, I am actually going to be taking a first look at the Pathfinder Absalom City of Lost Omens Gold Edition from Beadle and Grimm's. And of course, Paizo Inc., because it is a Pathfinder release. So we are going to be diving into an unboxing in just a bit. If this is your first time joining me, let me point out the show is very, very casual. Just hanging out, putting our feet up, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news. And then we take a look at a tabletop gaming release. Every once in a while, I'll do a review, but normally it's a first look. But we spend the first half of the show, first half hour or so, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news. So if you are tuning in live to see the unboxing of the gold edition of Pathfinder Absalom City of Lost Omens, sit tight, relax, kick back, enjoy the news. If you are watching this stream 30 minutes or more after it's ended, you'll find that there will be timestamps available for you. You'll be able to skip ahead of the news if you'd like to, but got to be honest, there's a lot of cool news tonight. Actually, it's kind of dusty down here tonight for some reason in the Duct Tape Studios, making my throat kind of scratchy. Anyway, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ding that bell, because it'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube. It'll also inform you when I upload other videos, such as my recent review of the RuneQuest starter set. Yes. I had somebody who was going to come on board as a reviewer, and they were going to review the starter set. They were big Chaosium fans and RuneQuest especially, and I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and I never got the review. So I said, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to shoot the review video because it is that good. It demands the attention, and I'd been sitting months waiting for this written review. So be sure to check that out. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And of course, this is a live stream. So that means there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. And you must be a subscriber to the channel for at least 48 hours before you can take part in chat. So another way to keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question, a comment, by all means, fire away. I will do my best to respond. Let's see who we've got so far. First out the gate tonight was the Madman. Yes, the Motor City Madman, one of our chat moderators. is with us. And I have to remind the madman to leave positive feedback on his eBay auction purchases. Not sure if you have or not. Last time I looked, you hadn't. So that's important. Jason Bratley is with us. Coco B is in their comfy clothes for this casual show. Omenal is with us. Omenal happens to be one of our reviewers, role-playing game reviewers over at thegaminggang.com. And I think that's everybody. I think that is everyone who's in chat at the moment. All right, without further ado, let's jump on into the news because I've got plenty. This summer is going to see the release of the Shadow Planet, the board game from Galakta Games. Here's the skinny. In strange and remote regions of space, death may not be the worst end. Yowza! A group of astronauts on a rescue mission lands on a desolate planet to learn the fate of a long-lost scientific vessel. With little over a day to investigate what happened, they discovered that the planet itself and the encountered survivors hide horrible secrets that might endanger humanity. The Shadow Planet, the board game, is a science fiction game of alien horror based on the beautifully illustrated Italian graphic novel by the Blasteroid brothers and designed by Giacomo and Gianluca Santopietro, the authors responsible for Letters from Whitechapel. It perfectly blends the idea of hidden identities with a completely revolutionary approach to the deck building genre, thus offering you a unique gaming experience and a chance to use a completely different strategy every time you play. Draw your secret goal and use 6 different characters to achieve it. Deceive your rivals and control the flow of the game through cunning management of different decks. Move around various locations on the planet to gain powerful cards or to use special abilities. But remember that they'll also benefit your opponents who can acquire the very same deck you're trying to modify. Play over the table, look for allies, and identify the alien threat before it proves too powerful, unless you're the creature trying to leave the planet. Save humanity or save yourself. The Shadow Planet, the board game, is for 3 to 5 players, ages 13 and up, plays in around 90 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $59.90 when it arrives in stores in July. I have to say, this looks very interesting. This seems pretty unique. Like the art style, once again, it is based on an Italian graphic novel. And I like the kind of like hidden mechanic. One of the things I found kind of interesting is that you're not taking on the roles of these different characters. You're trying to manipulate the different characters so that you're able to pull off your secret goal. I thought that was kind of cool too. Kevin R. Smith has joined us in chat. Good to see you, Kevin. Moving right along, arriving in Q2 is Monuments from Keep Exploring Games. Here's what I know about the game. You lead a civilization, and it's your mission to build your monument. The player who's first to build all 5 layers of Machu Picchu, Tikal, the Colossus of Rhodes, or the pyramids will trigger the end of the game, but only the player with the most victory points will win. Conquer lands, produce goods, populate, train military units, build buildings, move your units, upgrade your action cards, trade, attack other players, draw quest cards, and build your monument. Gameplay in Monuments flows easily. You either play one of your 10 action cards and execute its single action, then discard it, or pick up all previously discarded action cards and add them to your hand. The first player to complete their monument triggers the end of the game. Then points are awarded for the monument, workers, areas controlled, military power, resources controlled, upgraded cards, and uncompleted and completed quest cards. Each player has a score modifier, their own deck of bonus cards, and an ability in addition to the starting position of their civilization in order to make every game a totally new one. In Monuments, 1 to 4 players lead their Mayan, Incan, Greek, or Egyptian civilization. Over the course of the game, you will build your mighty monument layer by layer. Impressive as this is, it's also important to grow your population, produce resources, expand your territories over land and sea, build buildings, and keep your opponents at bay. Gameplay is smooth and fast. Each turn, you'll play either a simple action card and discard it, or take all those discarded cards back into your hand. When someone builds the 5th and final layer of their monument, the game is over. But of course, once again, only the player with the most victory points is going to win. There's also an AI opponent included for solitaire play. Monuments is for 1 to 4 players, ages 8 and up. Plays in 45 to 90 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $69 when it hits stores supposedly later this month. I'm not positive about that, but I do believe it is arriving in stores later in April. And Clint Gibson's with us. Good to see you, Clint. A new bundle of holding has arrived, and it features the 3rd edition of the Victoriana role-playing game from Cubicle 7 Entertainment. Here's the deets on the deal. Adventurer! We've resurrected our May 2015 Victoriana bundle featuring the 2013 3rd edition of Victoriana, the Cubicle 7 Entertainment tabletop role-playing game of Victorian steampunk engineering and gothic fantasy. Victoriana takes place in a fantastic alternate world of 1856, where the old ways of magic and tradition are losing ground to science, revolution, and the cloying smoke of industrialization. As you navigate this dangerous world, you'll solve mysteries, make social connections, and confront horrors while uncovering conspiracies in the shadows. Whether you fight them or join them is up to you. Wipe your monocle and examine this revived lineup with the 2013 3rd edition Victoriana Core Rulebook, location and character source books, a bestiary of the bizarre monsters and vile villains that haunt the Big Smoke, and adventures filled with macabre mysteries. For just $12.95, you get all 4 titles in this offer's player collection, with a retail value of $53 as DRM-free PDFs, including the complete Victoriana 3E rulebook, the equipment book, Marvels of Science and Steampunk, and 2 installments of Darwin's catalog. And if you pay more than the current threshold price of $29.28, you'll level up and also get this Revival's entire Game Master collection, with 6 more titles worth an additional $89, including the Magic Sourcebook Liber Magica, the Guides to London, The Smoke, and India, Jewel of the Empire, and several adventures, including the complete 6-part Shilling Shocker, Streets of Shadow. These savings run through April 13th, and 10% of your payment after payment gateway fees will be donated to the Children's Health Foundation in Dublin, Ireland. Sweet. Very cool. I got to be honest, I have never encountered anything for Victoriana. And I go way back with Cubicle 7 Entertainment. And I remember when the 3rd edition was coming out, I just never had an opportunity to dive into it. Now, one thing I am kind of curious if people have noticed recently, it seems like Bundle of Holding has been having a lot of offers for, I don't like to use this term, but I guess it's kind of, kind of true. Dead RPGs that really don't have any sort of current support whatsoever. Now, I know that Cubicle 7 Entertainment was putting together Victoriana for 5th edition, so 5e conversion, and I remember they announced it, but I haven't heard anything about it. But hey, it's Cubicle 7. You know it'll be pretty good. And as the Madman says, they always like making purchases that benefit charities. Of course. So if you are interested in Victoriana, the third edition, by all means, give this bundle a peek. Now available through Exalted Funeral is Best Left Buried Deeper, a collection of the SoulMuppet Publishing core books for the fantasy role-playing game Best Left Buried. Here's the scoop on the hardcover. Best Left Buried Deeper is a rules-light fantasy horror role-playing game where the monsters are scary and you are scared. Within the crypt, these adventurers will be beset by strange monsters, bizarre environments, and eldritch magics, which will take them on their journey from fresh-faced recruits to grizzled survivors. Players take the role of crypt diggers, professional dungeon divers who venture into monster-infested crypts in search of riches. Within those dark tunnels, crypt diggers brave threatening environments, solve cryptic puzzles, and face terrifying monsters. Those who survive might find themselves richer, but changed by their experience. They're often broken, beaten, and diminished, as ruined as the crypts themselves. The 326-page, I believe this is an A5, kind of like digest-sized hardcover, is available right now through Exalted Funeral for an MSRP of $53, which also includes the PDF. I have heard good things about Best Left Buried. I believe this is a title that's considered to be new SR, not OSR. So it is not, I guess it harkens back to some OSR dungeon delving, but I believe the mechanics are a little more modern. I think. I could be totally wrong, but I always thought that Best Left Buried was kind of a new SR release. All right, on to my final news piece. Now available in print and PDF from Compass Publishing is Beadle, the Endless Dungeon for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Here's the latest on the 5e setting. Beadle, the Endless Dungeon is a weird fantasy campaign setting for the 5th edition of the world's oldest role-playing game. What could that be? Oh, bunnies and burrows, obviously. What is Beadle? The world of Beadle is a prison planet constructed by an ancient spacefaring culture to imprison the great goddess Pandora. To keep the goddess's agents at bay, the cube-shaped planet consists of 6 sprawling dungeons, ever changing their layout and contents, a challenge that never ends, luring delvers into the depths of the world in pursuit of treasure, glory, and a wish granted by the maiden of the dungeon herself. What's in the book? Beadle is fully illustrated, clocks in at 180 pages, and is a campaign setting funded successfully on Kickstarter. The book includes a new system for building fleshed-out characters, replacing races with ancestries, cultures, and secrets, a new Beadle-themed subclass for all 12 classes, 6 joinable factions to fill your campaign with intrigue and conflict, a delve system, a simple low-prep way to run mega dungeons on the fly, a detailed gazetteer of all 6 major regions of the planet, 20 new magic items, 12 new spells, 3 new feats, and lots of new equipment, 60-plus new stat blocks, including creatures and NPCs. The 180-page standard hardcover for Beadle, the Endless Dungeon is available over at Drive-Thru RPG for $39.99, or you can grab just the PDF for $19.99. Once again, kind of looks interesting. Little weird fantasy. I always dig that. I always like the weird fantasy vibes. Although, I gotta say, and I'm not knocking this product whatsoever, but there's the mention of that low prep way of running mega dungeons on the fly. I'm not going to talk about it tonight, but one of these nights, I'm going to talk about this whole canard of low prep role-playing games being good. Sorry. They ain't. You can always tell a game master who has not prepared for a role-playing game session. Yes, you certainly can. Once again, I'm not knocking this. I mean, their little tips and tricks might be great. But, all right. All right. So the Madman says they left the eBay feedback. Thank you kindly. All right, that is it for tonight's news. Of course, I was just talking about Drive-Thru RPG. Don't forget, the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to go visit, say, Drive-Thru RPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a small portion of that sale. And all those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Also, if you like this video, if you dig the channel, if you feel thegaminggang.com is a valuable resource, if you like what we do, you can always buy me some soda or a cup of coffee by swinging on over to paypal.me/thegaminggang and making a small donation. And thankfully, there are quite a few people out there who utilize our drive-through links and swing over to paypal.me, and it is much appreciated, truly. All right, let me grab a quick sip here. Well, we rock through the news pretty quickly. Nice. Flaming Huron has joined us in chat. Good to see Flaming Huron. He is our other chat moderator hanging out. So, tonight, I am going to be diving into the Pathfinder Absalom City of Lost Omens. I knew I was going to mess it up because it's kind of a mouthful. Pathfinder Absalom City of Lost Omens Gold Edition from Paizo Inc. and Beadle and Grimm's. We're going to do that in just a minute, but first, it's time for a short intermission.
It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The juicy Frank sizzling pop. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now. It's time to stretch and fetch. See what's cooking at our refreshment counter. You'll find your favorite foods and beverages, plus many new goodies to tempt your appetite and add to your evening's pleasure. Everything's the finest quality. So treat yourself now.
Yes, head on over to the snack bar. Kevin says, holy crap, ice cream at the concession stand? I know, I was thinking the same thing. That had to be from the 50s. That one little drive-in intermission had to have been late 1950s is my guess. So, yeah, I was like, ice cream in a cone, like being scooped? Oh, wow. All right. Who else did we just see come in? Oh, there we go. Russell Higgins has joined us in chat as well. All right. So the fine folks over at Beadle and Grimm's had reached out to me to ask if I'd be interested in checking out their first big collector's edition release for Pathfinder. Now, you may have already seen the video that I shared taking a look at the character chronicles for Pathfinder. They had sent me the Wizard and the Rogue. Super cool. Really, really nicely done. So, they also sent along the Gold Edition of Pathfinder Absalom. I keep wanting to say City of Lost. Pathfinder Absalom City of Lost Omens Gold Edition. This carries an MSRP of $340. So I was expecting a package to show up with this box that you're taking a look at right here. I figured, oh, yeah, it's probably a good sized box. And so I get this package, and we're going to swing on over to the other camera so I can share it with you. So I get this box, and as you can see by the size of it, and I don't have huge hands, but I don't have tiny little hands. So this showed up, and I was like, holy cow. And it's like 16 pounds. It's like, what? So I open it up. Now, I haven't looked at anything. This is a true unboxing. All I did was remove this so I could take a picture and share it up on Twitter to show that, this was what we're taking a look at tonight. So we're going to dive on in. Kevin says at least they're giving customers their money's worth, unless that's mostly packing foam. No, it does not look like it's mostly packing foam. That is for sure. So we've got the Pickled Imp Antiques and Keepsakes. I believe this is a shop in Absalom, if I remember right. Flaming Heron says, packed by goblins, you say? Well, goblins meet the gremlins in the duct tape studios. So far, we don't have any gremlins bothering us tonight. So it looks like this is the box that we were just taking a look at in the image. We got something else that's in shrink wrap here. Or not shrink wrap, I should say bubble wrap. And then we've got this map vault. So Coco says 16 pounds. Encumbrance only matters in OSR. Yes. Okay, so this is a pretty nice poster tube. So I'm going to take that, put that off to the side. We're going to look at that last. We're going to take a look at the various different maps that are no doubt in there last. I have no idea what this is. We're going to take a look at what this is first. And then I'm going to take this out and unwrap it and put it off to the side, because we'll take a look at this. I'm trying not to knock things over that I've got around me here in the duct tape studios. There we go. All right. Okay, so this is that box there, and we'll dive into that in just a second. Like I said, I'm kind of curious what this is. Kevin says, from what they've heard and seen on a few live streams, Beadle and Grimm's makes really good stuff if you can afford it. Kevin says, unfortunately, they can't. Yes, please keep in mind, these are for collectors. This is not something that I would assume your average Pathfinder player or game master is going to be purchasing. I haven't seen a close-up, but I have seen some photographs of some of the like D&D adventures they've done special editions of. Coasters. These are wooden coasters. So that is the Tri-Stripe Society. Okay, so they all say. And these are wooden. These are solid wood. These have got to be coasters. I can't imagine using this for something else. So what do you get, 4 of them? Yep. Well, that's mighty interesting. That here's... Okay, all right. That's pretty wild. So, it's a Tri-Stripe Society coaster set. Okay. Move that over here. Now, let's take a look to see what is inside the big old box. I will zoom in a little bit. There we go. Let's see. Oh, okay. So there's nothing on the back. Kevin says, pretty sure everything is over $200. Says Beadle Grimm's business model is centered on the whales. So, is this going to show us what's in here? Yes. Dear Adventurer, if you love poetry, well, maybe not. Or ever went to high school, well, okay, that I did. Then you're probably familiar with Robert Frost's famous musings about a pair of diverging roads in a yellow wood. In the poem, one of these roads is plagued with dragons. The other road, one could also call it a path, is full of dragons as well. It's also home to a healthy dose of haikus, tolokans, and bog mummies. The point of the poem, if we remember it correctly, is that both paths are awesome, full of adventure, and you can totally experience them in equal measure. We're grateful to Paizo for letting us set up shop in the historic city of Lost Omens. This book is a game master's dream, an almost inexhaustible resource of fascinating characters and mysterious places. The opportunity to develop and expand on some of its dark corners has been a true creative joy, and we're excited to share it with you. So warm up your dice, let's walk some new paths together, and stab some bog mummies while we're at it, because Robert Frost can't clear these roads all by himself. I like that. That's cool. Helga Ratbone is joining us in chat. Good to see you. Okay, so it's talking about what's in this. So rather than reading what's in it, let's look and see what is in this. Okay, so we got a little bit of bubble wrap there. Okay, so we've got some draw bags. These are felt. This first one shows Beadle and Grimm's. And it feels like there's a coin in here. There is. Oh, man, that's really cool. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take it out of the plastic here. And it's got some good heft to it. So it's showing it's Absalom 2022. And then we've got the symbol here. And like I said, this has got some real heft to it. Nice. So then we've got another little drawstring bag. Looks like we've got a few pins sitting over there. Okay, so here we've got some coins. All right, come on, there's a piece of tape holding it. Let's go, tape. What the hell? See if I can get it from this side. There we go. So we've got some, it looks like we've got some gold, silver, platinum, electrum, I think. That's kind of cool. Coins of the realm. So here we have a pin. It's got a good amount of heft to it as well. Here is, this looks like a coin, but it's actually very thick. So we've got the two sides there. All these coins are metal, just so you know. And then This is another pin. Now, this one on the back says Paizo 2021. Oh, wow. It's kind of like a crest. That is really nice. I'm probably going to put that up behind us, somewhere on the shelves behind us. Oh, that's very cool. All right. So let's get into some of the gaming stuff. So we've got, looks like a bunch of characters. Looks like these are the NPCs. Looks like here we've got some locations. Yeah, looks like these are all locations there. So got a deck of rumor cards. We're going to be at this for a bit, gang. There's a lot in this. All right. Let's take a look, see what we've got here. Like I said, I think, yeah, as I flip it over, looks like these are NPCs. So they each get their own card here. They're like standees. So there's the information about them. There's no stat block for them. Nice. Omenel says they like the card size. Yeah, these are pretty large. Can give you an idea of these. We're not going to look at each and every one, but looks like those are different lords of the city. I held off on doing a review of Absalom City of Lost Omens because I knew this was coming. Sweet. Let's take a look at a few others here. So we're not going to look at each and every one of these, but my gosh, there are loads and loads of these. And so it looks like we've got some that are portraits. First watch, they were in like a particular order. I've just taken them out of order. These are kind of, some are turned one way and some are turned the other way. There we go. 245 Trioxin has joined us in chat. So once again, these have portraits of the NPCs as opposed to the full-length art, the full character art, I guess we'll say. All right, so as you can see, there's a boatload of these. And then these are locations. I believe. There are not as many, I don't think, as many of these as there were the NPCs, but there's still a lot of them. There we go. Just trying to get them where they're all facing the same way here. So this looks like a ziggurat here. It's the embassy. So it looks like we get breakdown of the location, where it's at on the map, and important NPCs who are affiliated with that location. So these are various buildings in the city. It's like Sarah D's with us. Good to see you, Sarah. Thanks for chiming in and saying howdy. Just kind of showing you some of these locales. Very nice. And the city of Absalom does have a bit of a kind of Middle Eastern vibe to it. Let's kind of show you a few more of these. This is the Dawn Keep. So we had another stack of those. Okay, so then we have some rumor cards, which obviously enough, the player characters get a rumor and you can hand them a card that they can keep in front of them. Wow. And they all have different fonts. That's pretty interesting. A group of powerful people in the Ivy District have formed a secret society and are making plans to rule the world. These people control politicians not just in Absalom, but in nations and cities all over the world. Their goal is to rule Golarion from the shadows and usher it towards some terrible fate known only to them. So there's discussion of turning things to face the proper way, all facing the same way. Sarah points out she works with a cash drawer, and if somebody hands them money, it's facing different ways, she'll actually face them correctly. I'm like that too. I get money in my wallet, and that is all got to be faced correctly. It's how I am. All right, let's see what we've got here. It looks like we've got, these appear to be handouts for the players. All right, come on. Stupid shrink wrap. Get out of here. Become a citizen of Absalom. So it's a little brochure. Oh, that's really cool. An invitation to dinner, it looks like. Do you want to race? And okay, so here's the wild thing with this. So these are all different paper stock. So for as an example, this has a bit of a linen finish to it. So does this. This doesn't. This is pretty wild. The end is nigh. Revolution in the streets. Storytelling contest. So this is like a little, almost like a little newspaper. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Like a notice. Oh, this is wild. All right, we're not going to look at each and every one of these things because we don't want to be like, sharing everything. Same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world. So we have Tales from the Warehouse. This looks like these are some adventures. Take a look at that in a second. So we have the Guide to the City. So these are broken up into booklets. Looks like these are saddle stitched. Maybe not. Maybe they're just staple. So it appears that the book itself is broken up into separate books to make finding stuff easier. That is pretty wild. Game Master screen. So we have a Game Master screen for that, and it is branded Beadle and Grimm's. And we've got a little bit of a map talking about the different areas, the factions, some very, very basic rules that you would find on most Game Master screens. Very cool. So this is the artwork. They're all falling to their doom. Of course, the goblin looks like they're having a great time. Yes, I love this. All right, so that is the Game Master screen. We're going to take a look at the books in just a sec. So this is a folder. Ah, okay. So we've got the different. So we've got different areas of the city, and then for your notes. So it's giving us a breakdown of. I think there's like 16 sections of the city, portions of the city. I don't think there's 16 of these though. It looks like there's 10. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. There are, yeah, I guess there's 14. And maybe that's the number of locations, or districts, I guess we'll say, in the city. So we've got that. Okay, so I'm going to put that back. I've never seen something like this, where now it's very possible that this is more than just the book, because I gotta be honest, it's been a while since I took a look at it, but I think the number of pages that are in this shrink wrapped bunch of books here, the page count's higher than the page count for the standard book. So like here are the Tales from the Warehouse. I think this is something new. So we'll take a peek at that in a sec. So we have Absalom and the Guide to the City. So this is pages 1 to 89. Ascendant Court, 90 to 105. The Docks, 120, 131. The Foreign Quarter. These books are broken up by the districts too. Man, this is very, very interesting. Yep, the Petal District, the Puddles, the Wise Quarter, Walls, Gates, and Keeps, the NPCs. This is a pretty hefty book. And oh, more NPCs. Yeah, I guess Absalom was like 400 pages. Okay, so we're just going to take a look at one. Kind of give you an idea. I got to be honest, I'm not sure if this has new artwork. I don't think it does. I think the artwork on the covers is new. So paper stock is very nice. The cardstock isn't as thick as you would find on, say, a Pathfinder or Starfinder Adventure Path chapter, but they should hold up pretty well. I gotta say, I like how we've got these other separate books, which are for the different regions. Because if, as a game master, you're running something that's going to be set in a particular region, all you got to do is have that book handy, pull out your little map. So these rumors are all on those rumor cards. I bet you. Nice. And then we've got the shops. So let me take a peek here. What was that shop called here? The Pickled Imp. Do we have the Pickled Imp? We do not. All right. Very cool. Let's cheat. Let's look at one more. Let's take a look at one of these district books. Like I said, I believe this is new artwork on these district books. So this is the information you would have had in the chapter for the Petal District in the book. And then we have a little section for notes. Oh, look at this. There's more than one region on these books. Oh, wow. I definitely dig the artwork on these. Okay, so this we know is just one book. Sure enough, look at that. So the Ascendant Court and the coins. Got the docks and Eastgate. Man, that is very unique. I really like that. So kind of funny thing is, if I hadn't just taken a peek at the through, I would have had no idea that there were two of them in each. So there's some discussion going on in chat about getting opportunities to play. Yeah, I know. It's right now, as COVID is hopefully kind of fading away for a bit, fingers crossed. We don't need any, like, zombie variant popping out. We're getting together about once a month, sometimes twice a month. That's why you've seen a much bigger focus on role-playing game coverage than board game coverage, simply because it's been difficult for me to be able to get enough players together. All right, so look at all this stuff. This is really well presented, as I gotta say. I mean, game masters would definitely get a ton of use out of this. And it's not just presented as, oh, well, this is all collector's item stuff. This is really useful materials. Okay, so like the pins and stuff like that. Yeah, they're cool. The coins, yeah, they're cool. But the rest of this, I could really see players getting a lot of use out of it. What I'm going to do is just going to close this up, put the rest of the stuff in here after the show ends, because I want to get into the map vault. So I'm curious what we're going to find inside here. Now, let's see, how easy is it going to be to get this open? Oh, come on. See, problem is, I really don't. I keep my fingernails really short. So, oh, hang on. Wait, there's a little handle on it. Been a good idea if I looked at that, huh? Oh, I can't get it off. No, I don't think we're going to be able to look at this tonight. All right, so there is a lot in here. Just want to be careful taking this stuff out. Holy cow. Oh, finally got it. All right, so we're going to see a bunch of, oh, okay, so here's some locations. Wow. Lots of goodies. Let's turn this around so you can get a little bit of a better look. So we have, is it 3 parts? Yes, looks like it. We have a 3-part overview map of the city itself. So this is of Absalom. These are just single-sided, but nice and thick, and they are treated. This is not just paper. We also have, move that out of the way. We also have some like adventure locations on maps here. So we've got the Grand Bazaar. The Crimson Coin Tavern. It looks like we have 6. So we have the Fungi Farm, or Fungi, however you like to pronounce that. We have the Sewer Dragon's Lair. Man, that is very cool looking. And of course, I can't fit all of this in the shots. Just to kind of give you an idea. Then, okay, on the other side of this, we have the boardwalk. And then last, we have, it's like an outdoor location. Verdurous Torsian. And these maps, they're thick and they will hold up to play. I can tell you that right now. All right, so there's one other item that was rolled up with these. And it has a bit of a linen finish to it. It's a map of Starstone Isle. So Perkins says $349 is a lot to spend in one purchase, but really, they spent a lot more over the years for similar content, but not at this quality. That's a good point. That is a very, very good point. Once again, as I mentioned before, this is obviously for collectors, for game masters who take their gaming very seriously. Let's see if I can roll this back up and sneak this back into the map vault. Oh, I'm sure that's not tight enough to get in there. Nope, not even close. All right. So we have seen all the maps. We have taken a peek at the wooden coasters and all the goodness that is inside the box for Pathfinder Absalom City of Lost Omens Gold Edition from Paizo Inc. and Beadle and Grimm's. Once again, this is available now, and it does carry an MSRP of $349. Important to mention, the fine folks over at Beadle and Grimm's were kind enough to provide me with this review copy. But of course, neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this video with you. And of course, I always talk about it. Always important for you to know that. It really is. All right, let's swing back on over to the other camera so I can wrap up. Man, that is super impressive. Now it's going to take me a few minutes to have to put all this stuff back together somehow. So, of course, I got to be honest. I don't think a review is in order. I mean, we've looked at everything that's in it. I have a review coming for the actual book itself. I think I'll kind of try to tie the two of them together. The standard edition from Paizo Inc. and, of course, this collector's edition as well. Because we've taken a pretty deep dive into it, and you've pretty much seen, I should say, how impressive this is. All right, what's cooking for the rest of the week? Well, on tomorrow's show, we are going to take a look at the Star Trek Adventures Tricorder Collector's Edition. Yes, another collector's edition. This is from Modifius Entertainment. And I believe this kind of focuses on original series Trek. I mean, all the rules I think are just, I think it's the standard rule book. But I think the extras that are included with this are kind of geared towards the original series, because we've got Spock right here. I got to be honest, I haven't read the back or anything. You know me, when I do first look, I'm looking inside the thing for the first time. So this is on tomorrow's show. And then War Game Wednesday returns. As on Wednesday's show, I will be unboxing and taking a first look at Plains Indian Wars from GMT Games. This looks really impressive. Very unique looking. I'm very interested in taking a peek at this. Thanks. All right. So that is what's cooking on the dispatch for the rest of the week. I got to mention, because I had to move so much stuff that I usually have nearby me as I'm doing the stream, I've had to keep reaching all the way over so I can kind of change scenes and that. So if you notice, I keep looking, glancing, it's because I'm trying to reach over and hit the right key so I can switch between cameras and stuff. All righty then. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. It'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my review of the Rune Quest starter set from Chaosium Inc. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. In fact, tomorrow, you'll be able to check out Sammy's review of the final chapter in the Strength of Thousands adventure path for Pathfinder. So that will be up tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, it'll be up. So, and I'll give you a little hint. In the email that Sammy sent me, she said that this is her favorite Pathfinder adventure path ever. So there's that. So you might want to check out that review. I know she's really enjoyed Strength of Thousands, but she was basically saying that this final chapter is her favorite adventure yet released for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I thought that was kind of cool. All right. And of course, if you were watching live, thank you very, very much Always appreciate that. If you took part in chat, extra experience points for you there. And one of these days, you're going to level up. I'm telling you, you're going to level up. It's going to happen. Of course, I know a lot of people out there, they don't have an opportunity to watch live. Doesn't matter if you're watching live or on Memorex. Thank you so much for taking time out to watch any of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel. It is truly appreciated. All right, once again, tomorrow I will be taking a look at the Star Trek Adventures Tricorder Collector's Set. It's like a box set. It actually looks like it's got a strap, so it looks like a tricorder when you open it up. And of course, until I see you next time, here's hoping each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang. Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. Check out the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch, or find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks for watching.